Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly Levine, the Closet Coach. And just a reminder, a couple announcements. If you're a homeowner and you love watching these videos, but you're just not quite sure you've got it right and you want some help, there's a link below where you can get some help. I can actually draw a closet for you, or we can talk about if you just need a review. If you are a professional, a home organizer, an interior designer, a cabinet shop, or some other professional that wants to learn how to design closets like the professionals do, I'm working on a course. It's going to be starting in January. You can also find the information for that in the link below. So go ahead and click on those if you have any questions. Today, I want to show you guys how to do something that I don't usually want people to do. Last year, I did a video on 3 mistakes that will wreck your closet. And in general, this will. It's corner shelves. Corner shelves are meant to be in pantries and storage rooms. And I'll show you some pictures here in a second. But there are a couple instances where I've put corner shelves in a closet. And that's what I want to show you today. So we'll talk about what you need to think about if you just can't get over wanting corner shelves in a closet. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and we will get started. There we go. I don't know why. Every time lately, it's asking me to download something, which I do every time. So here's my point. Here's a pantry, and you can see, here, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a corner shelf. You can't get these everywhere. So if you're buying a system and at a box store and they're not even available, you won't have to worry about this, but they can be purchased. And if you're using a custom design company, you can more than likely get corner shelves made. But this is what a corner shelf looks like if it's a continuous shelf all the way around a corner. This shows why it works in a pantry. You've got shelf, you've got shelf, you've got shelf. Oops, hold on a second here. So you've got shelves meeting shelves, right? Okay, so how is that different than a closet? That's what we're going to talk about today. I also want to show you a picture of a closet where I actually did use it. Now, if you can picture this door right here being right here on this side, these are the corner shelves that I did in this closet. These were going to be for the purpose of putting shoes on, and this person had a lot of shoes, but you can see here that there's some hanging next to these shelves. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about and go over. And this is what normally makes this a total disaster. All right. So let's talk about this closet. This was actually a closet that I did. You can see it's quite a large closet. I've drawn out the basics on this side, and then I've shown the island in the center. That's this right here. This is the island right in here. Okay. So this 22 inches and this 16 inches are the pieces that we had in the back of the closet. This side was all hanging, and that's why I drew it out at 22 inches, because the clothes were actually going to be hanging out here. All right. So this is the problem in a corner. Real quick. This pink line is the clothes. So when you go into a corner and you are going to try to do a corner shelf, at some point, if you've got a 16-inch deep, if you've got a 16-inch deep shelf, okay, and you're coming around and you've got 16 inches on the other side, at some point that's going to stop, and more than likely in a closet, you are going to have hanging clothes next to it, especially if this is a smaller closet. So that's where this 22 inches comes in. And let's just say, you know, that you've got a large unit and you can use 30 inches on each side, which seems like a big section. Okay, and then let's go 30 inches this way. Number one, you can see that this area here gets tighter. As you create a corner shelf, it gets tighter. But the other thing that happens in this case is that we've got clothes hanging next to it. So let's get rid of where we wouldn't have clothes hanging. But you can see that you have even a tighter area right here, because this is where your clothes are going to be hanging out, right? Okay, this is the problem with putting corner shelves in a closet typically. People think this is going to be wonderful, and it is generally not. The other thing is that normally clothes are about 14 inches by 12 inches. Oops. You know, so the square that's created by a stack of clothes is, you know, 12 by 14. So you can see, you know, you get one stack there. If you get a stack here, when you put another stack over here, it's blocking the corner. So in general, for clothes, just know that you're wasting this space right here cannot be used. I've gone into client after client who's had corner shelves in their closets and they hate them. They are typically nothing but a mess. Don't try to put folded clothes on corner shelves, and don't ever typically and don't ever really, you know, put corner shelves back in the corners like that of a closet, okay? Because you are going to have clothes hanging next to it and you're going to get way too tight, not be able to get in there, and you won't be able to see. So what can you do? In this case, this person, like I mentioned, had a pretty big shoe inventory and also a lot of hanging clothes, which is why, you know, a lot of this wall right here ended up being used for hanging clothes. And so I wanted to try to use this wall right here for her shoes, but as the hanging clothes, if they would have continued to come down here, it would have left a very small space for a shoe shelf there, you know, right in this area, even smaller than that. So I decided to give her wish, because she was one that did want corner shelves, and put a corner shelf here. We didn't have to give up a ton of hanging, but you do have to take into consideration that you're going to be turning a corner. So I left 24 inches on this side, okay? And the hanging sections were 16 inches deep, okay? But you don't need 16 inches for shoe shelves. So coming around the corner, I decided to use 12 inches deep, okay? And in the company that I work for, we could not do larger than a 36-inch long corner shelf. So that brings that to here. Okay, so then you've got this coming down. Oops. Coming down and going over. So, you know, since shoes and purses have a little bit different shape, you know, similar to some of these other rounder things that you might see in a pantry, it's not as big of a deal as a folded clothes. I did tell her that I thought this was going to get quite messy, but she was okay with that. I think she was planning on, you know, filing a few purses in here and then having the shoes, you know, mostly in this area there. But this way, as her clothes were hanging here, she was not blocking a ton of this space. So we had, you know, a pretty good area in here to be able to get in there and see in both directions what was in there, because this was all open on this side. This is actually where the door came in. All right, so if we were to draw that in you know, elevation view, and I'm going to grab another piece of paper. If we were to draw that in elevation view, we've got a 58-inch wall there, and this is only a 96-inch tall ceiling. Okay, and then the door is actually here, so this is where the door is. So what's going on with my pencil there? All right, so coming out 36 inches from the corner, and the system that I did went to the ceiling, but I'm just going to draw this as a 84-inch tall. And then we had 16-inch panels. So when you've got a corner shelf, the way that you show that is that this is the panel. This is the panel that you can't see. So in other words, it's this panel right here. If we are looking this way at this wall, that, you know, we can only really see this much of that shelf, even though it goes all the way into the corner. So the way that you draw that is, you know, by drawing a line where that panel is, and then you just, you know, draw in your shelves. Whoops. Just draw in your shelves here. And we would continue that up. And then on the other side, on that side we had, you know, the long wall. And we've used 24 inches. And our panel coming around the other way was only 12 inches. So we've got basically identical panels coming around the corner on this side. Again, this is the section. This is this panel right here. Oops. This panel right here. So you can really only see 12 inches of that corner. But this is actually coming around the corner. And so we've got, you know, and then we, I don't remember the exact dimensions, but I'm just going to show you that we had a, oops, had a double hanging section next to that. Okay, so here was our 24 inches to the corner. This side was our 36. But since we have a 16-inch panel on this side, we really only see 16 inches. And on this side, we've got a 12-inch panel coming in the other side, so we really only see 12-inch with that corner going all the way around. I hope that makes sense. I want to show you guys some pictures because I think this will bring it together. So this is that closet. So you can see if you were standing over here, you know, looking at this, you would only see 12 inches there because this panel is, you know, kind of blocking your sight if you were standing at a 90-degree angle. And this way you would see 20 inches if you were standing right here, because you've got 16 back here. That's that panel that we don't see. Okay, so this is probably the only application where I would, you know, say you can see here, you can see in 3D how you can only see part of this when you don't see into the corner. But, you know, there's a door here. Okay, so that is going to be a good place to put some shoe shelves. You know, you've still got room here to get by. You don't have a lot of clothes hanging in front blocking your view, and you can, you know, utilize that entire corner with a cabinet. Okay, I hope that made sense. Please don't do this. It's going to be a mess. Don't put corner shelves over there. If you're going to do it, if you have to do it, put them toward the front. All right. I hope that you guys, I hope that gave you a lot of questions actually to ask. If you do have questions, please comment below. I'd love to know what you're struggling with and how I can help. And remember, once again, there's a couple links below for if you need a design reviewed, if you want a design done for you, or if you're interested in learning how to design from scratch. If this was your first video and you're totally confused, please go back and watch how to take an inventory, how to measure your closet, how to draw your closet. That explains the graph paper, how I'm doing my measurements. I'm not going into that every time I do a new video. So please go back and review those. And yeah, until next time, happy designing. Take care.